So, this is totally improvised because I'm about to leave to go back home for a holiday in England in a few days. So I thought, since our country's not playing football in a major tournament again anymore after whatever that was that happened this morning, what better time to make a view to discuss how much I love being a three-line supporter right now? And you can tell the sarcasm. Where do we begin? Good news, maybe. The one bit of good news that has come from the result this morning. Roy Hodgson resigned as our boss. Would have been better if he'd been sacked, but I suppose the resignation's just as good because it means he's no longer our manager. I mean, let's face it, apart from maybe John Carver and Alan Pardew and a few others, anyone's going to look good following in from him. I mean, I will address the point. People said, some people saying, oh yeah, Roy Hodgson did okay actually, he's not that bad. Can I just point out, the only reason he looked any decent at any point of the time of the 4 years he was our manager was because he followed on from Fabio Capello, and I mean, John Carver would look good following on from him. Maybe, I don't know. But all that aside, Roy Hodgson has resigned. I mean, maybe we could have got to a quarter-final like we usually do, but in all fairness, I wanted him gone after. I mean, the only way I said, like my friends would tell you, like the only way I wanted him, thought he should deserve to stay, was if we won the whole thing. Even if we made the final and was runner-up, I would have still been firmly Hodgson out. And he's out now, so it's good. I mean, he did kind of go out with a whimper, but I mean, he's kind of been on a whimper since the beginning of the 2014 World Cup. So, qualifiers aside, of course, we do pretty well in them. Won all of them. But that means nothing, so, yeah. Where does it begin? We'll talk about the Euros mainly. And, I mean, a lot of Liverpool fans, probably West Brom fans, just people in general who supported teams in the past who've had Roy Hodgson manage that team will tell you he is inept when it comes to decision-making. And I mean inept of the highest order. Like, I've never seen such bad managerial decision-making. Russia. Harry Kane taking corners against Russia. I mean, fuck who it is against. Why the hell would you put Kane on set pieces from a corner? Hodgson. And he's having Kane take free kicks today. Hello, you've got Rooney on your team. Like, he's not the best free kick taker in the world, but he's surely our best that we have in our squad. I mean, Jesus Christ. Roy Hodgson is like... There's no comparison, because I'm like improvising this off the top of my head, so I'll probably make a fool of myself by trying to make a comparison, because it'd be bad. But like, just he's so bad at decision making. It's just frustrates the hell out of me. And when I turned the TV on when we kicked off this morning and saw Sterling was starting after being dropped against Slovakia, he actually dropped him against Slovakia, and I said maybe we have a chance here. And then he starts him again against Iceland. Like, I know he's going through confidence issues, Raheem Sterling, but seriously, drop him from our team. He's not going to get his confidence back being booed on and off the pitch every single time. I know us fans. We got ruthless fans, for fuck's sake. One mistake from a player or manager, the whole country's over them. So if any player's going to have confidence issues, Roy, you're the manager. You're the one who's got to tell the player or have the right mind to think yourself, I don't think he should play. Because it just might not be the best for his confidence, you know? Bad decision-making, shit man management really led you to this eventuality, Roy. I mean, like, I don't know if we did worse in the World Cup or worse in this. We made it through the group stage and scored more goals, but, like, we didn't play any better. I mean, did you watch that Iceland game? No offence to Iceland, they're actually proved to be a good team now that they're in the quarterfinals, and some people are saying they're doing a Leicester City, but, you know, fair credit to them. But we should be wiping the floor with teams like Iceland, Slovakia, Russia. Oh, we won against Wales. They're a good team now. I'm happy about that. And came from behind. But we drew to Russia. We drew to Slovakia. And we fucking just lost to Iceland. 3 teams we should have been easily putting to bed. And we didn't. Why? Because Roy Hodgson's bad decision-making all through the qualifiers, where we were the only team in all of Europe to win every single one of the qualifiers that we had, he had a system set up. And what do you use qualifiers for? You use them as time to practice that system. We won all the qualifiers under that system. So we practiced, right? Then as soon as we kicked the first ball ahead of the game against Russia in our first group game in the Euros, what happened? Oh, that's right. Roy's gone and changed the system that we've been practicing with for all the qualifiers. As soon as the tournament kicks off, I have an idea. Let's just change everything. How on earth is a manager going to get away with doing stuff like that? I mean, he did for the next 4 games. Finally, he's been figured out. Took him long enough. I mean, it took him long enough because he resigned. He didn't get sacked. I don't get it, really. I mean, and we can go back to the team selection. No Danny Drinkwater. Instead, Jack Wilshere comes out. I defend Jack Wilshere, but he just needs to be fit longer and have consistent game time. He shouldn't be playing in the Euros, considering he's barely played a minute of Premier League football, not only last season, but the season before. I mean, I know a lot of West Ham fans will be like, oh, Mark Noble for England, you know, Mikel Antonio for England, Aaron Cresswell for England. No. I mean, they're all good players. I agree Antonio should have gone, maybe Noble, Cresswell maybe a bit more development, but Sterling, I mean, I'll get to him in a minute, but Wilshere, definitely not fit enough to go in my opinion, and why Danny Drinkwater was left out, I'll never know. And then we go on to width. You changed the system to 4-3-3 heading into the Euros, Roy, why you did that, bad enough, but if you're going to do that, you need players who have width. Yes, Sterling's a winger and all that, but he's £50 million down the fucking drain is what happened last season at Man City with him, and he's proven it in this tournament. Confidence issues or not, he's still well underperformed to that £50 million price tag, which if it's still on him next season, I will be so shocked more than anything, because right now he's playing about at the level of a £500 signing, in my opinion. I could name players in League One who would outperform him in that England team. There's just so many problems. Andros Townsend didn't go. Why? Because Roy Hodgson, as we know, circles the big clubs, and that's why Sterling went instead. Townsend single-handedly almost saved Newcastle from relegation. He got in the 26-man squad, but didn't get a look in beyond that. But the one that blows my mind the most, as I've already said before, is why the Premier League winner of Leicester City, Danny Drinkwater, the integral part of that 2-man centre midfield they had with him and Conte, didn't get picked for England. Someone who played more Premier League minutes combined than Wilshere and Henderson in the Premier League last season. Both of those two go ahead of him. Henderson's didn't even play a minute. Wilshere came here and there. If you're going to pick them over Drinkwater, Hodgson, play them more. I mean, they're not the greatest, but play them. Why are we playing Sturridge out on the wing? He's a centre forward. He's not a winger. We're playing 4-3-3. We're playing a centre forward in the centre, thank God. At least you got one thing right. I mean, albeit against Russia, that centre forward was taking corner kicks. But there's a start, I guess, for Hodgson. But we got Sturridge and Vardy out wide. Like, Sturridge has been injured a lot, and there were selection issues there, but you need the other striker, fair enough, and he did score a goal and played okay in some parts, but he should not be playing out wide, and most of all, Vardy, who's terrorised defences with Leicester's long ball tactics, 24 Premier League goals this season, did score in the Euros, I mean, yeah, and he's done well, but he's been playing out wide. And obviously, we have a wide player, his name's Raheem Sterling, but as I've said many times before, he's fucking crap. He's useless. Why didn't we take a Townsend? Why didn't we take Antonio? Why did we not take these two players? If you're going to play, change your system to play with width up front, Roy Hodgson. Whoever comes in after you is not going to have the hardest task in looking better, because honestly, we've got talent in that squad that didn't even go to the Euros. I mean, yes, there's issues for a long time for England not turning up in major tournaments because players bottle it. And it did happen again this tournament. But I had a feeling this tournament, the players didn't bottle it as much. It was more the manager's fault. Out of another tournament. Just pathetic, really. Outplayed by Russia in places. Well, no, we're not outplayed. So we dominated Russia, we dominated Slovakia, and we pretty much dominated Iceland. The problem, we could not even test the fucking goalkeeper for 70 minutes after Iceland went 2-1 in front. Yes, they're well known for their defence, and they defended very well today, but we barely even had shots on target. How are we calling ourselves a creative team going forward if we can't even create against Iceland, Slovakia and Russia, for fuck's sake? I mean, thank God we didn't go through to the next few rounds, because we would have come to look really bang fucking average against, the likes of Germany, Italy, France or whatever and so on. I mean, maybe it's a blessing in disguise to avoid further embarrassment that we're no longer in the tournament. And, hey, there's a positive in this tournament. We didn't go out on penalties for once. I've been ranting for too long, but it's just tough being an England fan, isn't it? It really is. Hodgson's gone though. There's a silver lining. You know, every black cloud has a silver lining, and that's our silver lining. Whoever comes in next, personally for me, I want it to be Eddie Howe. He's a young manager. Maybe give him one more season with Bournemouth to see what he does this time around the Premier League. But he's a young manager who's not afraid to go there and take risks. Something Hodgson was most afraid of. It's like he got a phobia of taking risks when he was our manager. Yeah, I've said about everything I can, really. If I miss something out, you know, this is on YouTube, let me know in the comments below. And if you want me to talk more about the Euros or whatever, you know, let me know. I'm not trying to be True Geordie here or anything, but, you know, competition, mate. No, just kidding. True Geordie is a real good YouTuber. Check him out, actually. I don't know why I'm doing this advertising right now. I've run out of things to say. It's getting late here, and I'm going to England in a few days where I'll be seeing a lot of people saying what I'm saying over and over again. So, happy days! Yeah, this has been me, Chester Brown, just ranting about England. Yeah. Bye.